Anyway, before we go to number one, there is a couple of honorable mentions that I feel like we should have in that we put down. One of them is a return to Hornswoggle when he was revealed to be the son of Vince McMahon. Now, Hornswoggle has been the son of multiple people, most notably Fit Finlay, which kind of makes sense because Hornswoggle was a leprechaun and Fit Finlay is from Ireland. Logic. But that be what that be. But they had been WWE had been running an angle for some time where Vince McMahon was found out through one of his numerous affairs to have an illegitimate son. And the whole thing was about finding out who he was supposed to be. There was absolutely no doubt that back in the day it was supposed to be Mr. Anderson, who became, I think, Ken Anderson in TNA later. But it was definitely supposed to be Mr. Anderson. But then he got into some hot water backstage. Can't remember why. I think there was like 2 or 3 wellness violations in really quick succession. So they had to find someone else because the storyline, of course, had to continue. And instead of doing, I'm actually surprised Vince didn't just reveal it was Triple H, because then he could have done the incest angle he's always wanted to do with Trips and Steph. But someone fortunately pulled the plug on that one. Instead, they chose Hornswoggle because that makes sense.
Of course it does.
So that was a thing for a little while, and then it was revealed that Hornswoggle wasn't his son after all, and the original paternity test was wrong, and then that whole thing was dropped again. Like I said, Hornswoggle, for someone who was actually a really good performer based on what he was capable of doing physically, have been, man, he has been giving also some weird stuff over the years. But
Poor guy.
Hornswoggle's son, none the least. The other one I want to mention is the Shockmaster, and that's just because it's the funniest failure in the history of wrestling. The Shockmaster was all the way back in the days of NWA. I don't even think NWA had become WCW yet, or WCW have split from NWA, but it was basically that Ric Flair was feuding with Sting, as they would, basically, for the next decade or so, repeatedly. I don't think there's anyone Sting has feuded with as much as Ric Flair, and they were great. But part of one of those feuds was the arrival of Sting's new glorious ally, the Shockmaster. And the problem was the Shockmaster was supposed to burst through a wall, because this was early 90s NWA, supposed to burst through a wall and go, rah! Problem is, the wall only broke on the top, so he fell. And what was basically a rather tubby man in a fur coat and a glitter-painted stormtroop helmet from Star Wars that then fell off so everyone could see who he was, and it wasn't who he was supposed to be. And then you can literally hear the if you go and find it on YouTube, you can literally hear the announcers laughing their heads off at the whole thing. It was just so dumb.
It was really bad.
It was really, really bad. It was
It's like, dude, that's not time where you just cut to commercial.
Yeah. It's like, if you don't run commercials, invent some.
Right? So now, has a technical difficulty or something.
Yeah. Oh, man. Or cut to Ric Flair just saying woo for 10 minutes. I don't even, just something other than that. Anyway,